Breaking news is rocking the reality TV world. At 55, Shaunie O'Neal has finally had enough. After years of juggling drama, business, and family, she's stepping forward in a way no one saw coming. You won't believe what pushed her to the edge and what she's revealing now. It's raw, personal, and completely unfiltered. The truth behind her decision will leave fans stunned, and what happens next could change everything for the iconic star. For years, Shaunie O'Neal has been a powerhouse in reality TV, business, and the public eye, balancing fame, family, and high-stakes drama. But now, at 55, she's reached a breaking point. The decisions she's making, the statements she's releasing, and the boundaries she's setting are unlike anything fans have seen before. In this video, we're going deep, uncovering the reasons behind Shaunie's bold moves, the personal struggles she's faced behind the cameras, and the explosive moments that finally pushed her to take a stand. You won't believe the behind-the-scenes conflicts, the pressures she endured, and the shocking truths about her relationships and career. This is where it gets unbelievable. From family dynamics to business challenges and personal revelations, we're laying it all out. By the end of this story, you'll see Shaunie O'Neal in a completely new light. Stronger, more determined, and ready to finally call the shots on her own terms. To truly understand why Shaunie O'Neal has reached this pivotal moment in her life, we have to go back and look at the full picture of her journey. Shaunie has always been more than just a reality TV star. She's a mother, a businesswoman, and a public figure constantly under the microscope. From producing hit shows like Basketball Wives to managing her personal brand, she has built an empire while juggling the pressures of fame, family, and the expectations of fans and media alike. For years, she has maintained an image of strength and composure, appearing unshakable on social media, television, and public appearances. But sources close to her reveal that the pressure behind the scenes has been mounting. Balancing her children, personal relationships, and professional obligations has created a level of stress that most fans could never imagine. Shaunie has always been a fighter, but even the strongest people have breaking points, and insiders say the events of the past year pushed her closer than ever. Behind the cameras, conflicts and personal struggles were brewing. Family dynamics, disagreements over parenting decisions, and the constant scrutiny of her public life created a pressure cooker environment. Friends and colleagues reportedly noticed moments where she seemed unusually distant or frustrated, signaling that something was simmering beneath the surface. And then came the tipping point. Specific incidents, though not fully public, reportedly forced Shaunie to reassess her priorities, question certain relationships, and decide that enough was enough. These moments weren't just minor disagreements. They were pivotal events that shaped her decisions and led to the bold actions we're about to uncover. But what exactly happened to push Shaunie over the edge? Was it family tensions, business challenges, or something more personal and shocking? The answers lie in the next chapters of her story, and what happened next changed everything for the reality TV icon. The turning point in Shaunie O'Neal's life didn't happen overnight. Sources reveal that the drama within her family had been quietly escalating for months, creating a constant source of stress that many fans never saw. Shaunie, a devoted mother to her children, has always prioritized their well-being. But insiders say that even her strongest efforts couldn't prevent the tension from affecting her family life. Friends and confidants describe moments of heated disagreements behind closed doors, often over parenting decisions, schooling, and lifestyle choices. While Shaunie has always appeared composed in public, those close to her noticed a growing frustration, a sense that her voice wasn't being fully heard in decisions that mattered deeply to her. These weren't fleeting moments of tension. They were recurring conflicts that gradually chipped away at her patience. Adding fuel to the fire were external pressures. As the producer and star of a reality franchise, Shaunie is constantly under the media spotlight. Every family outing, every personal choice, and every interaction is dissected and speculated about on social media. Insiders say that the scrutiny amplified the stress, making even small disagreements feel magnified. The combination of family disputes and public pressure created a perfect storm, testing her emotional and mental limits. Then came the incidents that changed everything. While the details remain partially private, sources hint at confrontations that went beyond normal disagreements, moments that challenged her authority, questioned her decisions, and forced her to stand her ground. Friends say that these events weren't just frustrating, They were pivotal, awakening Shaunie's determination to reclaim control over her life and her family's well-being. What makes this even more intense is that Shaunie didn't make this decision lightly. She's a woman with a career, reputation, and public image to protect. And yet she realized that something had to give. The tipping point wasn't a single argument or a public scandal. It was a combination of personal frustrations, family challenges, and years of bearing the weight of expectations, all converging at once. As Shaunie prepared to make her bold moves, whispers of the internal family dynamics began to circulate in the media. Fans noticed subtle changes in her public appearances and social media posts, hinting that she was grappling with more than just business decisions. What happened next would not only impact her family, but also send shockwaves through the world of reality television, revealing sides of Shaunie that fans had never seen before. But here's the question everyone is asking. What specific events finally made her draw the line? And how would these revelations affect her children, her relationships, and her legacy as a powerful figure in entertainment? The answers are coming in the next chapter, and what unfolds is both shocking and deeply human. Shaunie O'Neal has always been more than just a mother or reality star. She's a powerhouse in entertainment, a savvy businesswoman, and a public figure whose every move is under scrutiny. But success comes at a price. The demands of her career, combined with the intense spotlight of reality television, created pressures that few fans could truly understand. Producing and starring in shows like Basketball Wives and other projects required constant attention, long hours, and the ability to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics. Shaunie wasn't just managing her own career, she was also balancing the ambitions, egos, and conflicts of an entire cast and production team. Sources close to her say that the stress of maintaining professionalism while managing drama on screen left her emotionally drained. And then there's the public eye. Reality TV fans often blur the line between entertainment and reality, expecting stars like Shaunie to share every detail of their lives while judging every choice she makes. Social media amplified this pressure, as every post, every statement, and every public appearance became fodder for scrutiny. Sources reveal that Shaunie felt the weight of constant judgment, criticism, and speculation, and the pressure to maintain a perfect image for fans and the media became overwhelming. Adding to this were professional conflicts behind the scenes. Insiders hint at tensions with cast members, disagreements over show direction, and the challenges of managing public perception while maintaining personal integrity. Shaunie reportedly had to navigate disputes over storylines, editing, and interpersonal drama, while simultaneously ensuring the show remained profitable and engaging for audiences. Every decision she made had consequences, both for her career and her reputation. And yet, even with all these responsibilities, Shaunie has always been fiercely protective of her children and personal life. But sources say that over time, the combination of professional obligations and public scrutiny began to bleed into her personal space, creating emotional strain that became impossible to ignore. Moments that once might have seemed manageable now felt overwhelming, and the stress reached a tipping point where she knew she had to make a decisive change. The most shocking aspect, insiders say, is how long she managed to keep it together. Friends describe her as incredibly disciplined and resilient, yet even she recognized that the balance she had maintained for years was no longer sustainable. The turning point wasn't just a single incident, it was the cumulative weight of expectations, from work, from fans, from social media, and from those closest to her, that forced her to confront the reality that she could no longer allow herself to be stretched so thin. And here's where it gets even more compelling. The decisions Shaunie is now making aren't just about reclaiming her personal life. They're also about setting boundaries professionally, asserting control over her public image, and sending a message to those around her that she won't tolerate chaos or compromise her well-being any longer. Fans are now witnessing a side of Shaunie that few have seen. A woman taking command of her life with clarity, courage, and unapologetic determination. But the story doesn't end here. While professional pressures contributed heavily to her breaking point, there's a deeper, more personal layer to her decision, one that involves her relationships, her legacy, and choices that could forever change the way the world sees Shaunie O'Neal. The next chapter will reveal the heart of her personal confrontations and the shocking actions she's taken to reclaim control over her life. At 55, Shaunie O'Neal has reached a point in her life where patience and compromise are no longer enough. Sources close to her reveal that over the past few years, personal conflicts, strained relationships, and repeated disappointments had been quietly building. For Shaunie, these weren't just minor disagreements. They were recurring challenges that tested her limits, her confidence, and her sense of control over her own life. Friends describe a series of personal confrontations with family members, close friends, and even professional acquaintances, where Shaunie finally spoke her truth. Insiders say these conversations were raw, emotional, and unflinchingly honest, as she refused to bend to expectations or tolerate behaviors that undermined her authority or peace of mind. Unlike the composed public persona fans are familiar with, this was Shaunie in private, a woman setting clear boundaries, demanding respect, and asserting her needs with courage and conviction. It wasn't easy. Sources reveal that some confrontations were tense and emotionally charged, with long-standing issues surfacing all at once. But for Shaunie, this was necessary, a pivotal step in reclaiming control over her personal and family life. She reportedly made difficult decisions about who she would continue to engage with, how she would protect her children, and how she would maintain her mental and emotional well-being. Friends note that this wasn't about ego. It was about survival, self-respect, and creating a stable, healthy environment for herself and her loved ones. At the same time, Shaunie's actions have had ripple effects. Some relationships shifted dramatically, while others strengthened under her newfound clarity. People around her had to adapt to her boundaries, and the message was clear. She would no longer allow others to dictate her life or diminish her authority. Even colleagues in the entertainment industry noticed the change, with some expressing admiration for her decisiveness, while others were reportedly caught off guard by the strength of her stance. And the stakes are higher than just personal relationships. Shaunie's children, who have always been a central focus of her life, have also benefited from her decisive action. Friends say that by establishing boundaries and taking control, she has created a more stable and secure environment for them, shielding them from conflicts and drama that could have otherwise affected their upbringing. Her approach demonstrates a rare blend of toughness and care, protecting her family while asserting her independence. But here's the part that shocks everyone. The boldness of Shaunie's decisions has sparked intense speculation and media attention. Fans are debating every action, every statement, and every post. Social media is abuzz with theories about the confrontations, the relationships affected, and the personal and professional implications of her choices. Shaunie, however, seems undeterred. She is navigating the spotlight with intentionality, revealing just enough to assert her narrative while keeping the most private matters under wraps. The most compelling question now is this: what exactly drove her to this level of boldness at 55? Was it a final straw in personal relationships, an accumulation of professional frustrations, or a deep desire to reclaim her life on her own terms? The truth is likely a combination of all these factors. And the next chapter will uncover the most shocking revelations yet, showing Shaunie O'Neal in a light that fans have never seen before.